Hello, elementary families, parents, and guardians. This is Mrs. Farrell coming to you. I am pre-recording from my office on campus here from the Richfield campus. The purpose of this video is to share with you our updates and highlights for you as we pivot to the full distance learning model and expectations for students in the distance learning model. So what's going to happen is today, so I'm pre-recording, but for you, it should be Tuesday, November 17th, when we're asking our elementary teachers to share this video and all of the student expectations with you. So I'm going to go over all of the expectations that you should have received or will receive later in an email from your student's teacher. So as most of you know, or all of you know, we are making a full pivot to distance learning for middle school and elementary, and that is effective on November 30th. We will be closing school on November 23rd and 24th, and that includes closing our childcare so that all of our teachers and staff can prep for our distance learning model that will be effective, as I said, on November 30th, that Monday. Remember, there's also no school on Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, so that families can take time to celebrate the Thanksgiving holiday. All right. So you will first learn who your child's teacher will be in the distance learning model. Most students should have the same teacher, whether it was their hybrid teacher or their distance learning teacher, but some of that will shift. And the reason for that is when we created schedules in the fall, the schedules were based on the families that chose to have their students in distance learning. So if families chose distance learning, those numbers did not always match the number of families that chose hybrid. And in a typical school year, or what I'm saying in a traditional school year, we typically have 25 students in each classroom. And so I am asking the grade level teachers to work together to get close to 25 each as we pivot now, because now we can have more equal classrooms because we're all teaching in a similar platform. We don't have to worry about kids in hybrid, and we don't have to worry about kids in distance learning. We're all just distant learning. So I know that may be an adjustment for some of you. We have great teachers, but I want you to understand the reasoning behind the change if the change is happening for your family. The teachers will continue to work together. So if you're familiar with one teacher, that teacher may still be your child's math or reading teacher. There's still going to be some overlap, or I'm hoping you can still, your child can still spend time with that teacher that they're so familiar with, because those relationships are really, really important. Okay, some other updates for you. For the Google, we are continuing to use the Google Classroom. Your child should be using the same Google Classroom that they were using in the hybrid or distance learning model. The only difference is if your child has a different teacher now, that teacher will invite you in. They will invite your student in through the school Google Gmail account. They will invite you in to be a member now of that new teacher's Google Classroom. Every day, students will have 4 classes or content areas posted in their Google Classroom, okay? So one is language arts, so that's reading and writing instruction, math, social studies, and science. And we are asking teachers for each of those subject areas to build 20 to 45 minutes of content. So that may mean that your child will watch a video of instruction and then follow up with some assignments in the Google Classroom. Okay, so 4 content areas every day, 20 to 45 minutes per content area. Specialist teachers will still be in effect. And so what we're going to do is every student in kindergarten through 5th will have gym class with Mr. Garvey, art with Mr. Labresco, and media class with Miss Lee. They're going to post their lessons for your child. Your child will have 1 lesson from each of those teachers, so 3 a week in specialist per child. They will post those on Monday, and the student has to have those turned in by Friday noon. We really, really want to make sure students are doing their specialist lessons. It's an area we need more participation. Those lessons are required, and your child will receive a grade in the specialist area as well as those other 4 content areas in the Google Classroom. So we need to make sure that parents are expecting children to get those assignments completed and completed well. Students will be learning Monday through Friday. We're going to continue with the morning meeting at 8:40 every morning, Monday through Friday, 8:40 to 9 a.m. That is where we do a check-in with your student for social emotional check-in, and that's where we take attendance. In addition to the Google Classroom work that your student can complete on their own time during the school day, teachers will also be bringing to you 2 live math lessons a week and 2 live reading lessons a week. And that will be built into the schedule that you will see in the email from your teacher so that your child knows when to go live in that Google Meet and that link in Google Meet. It will be 2 times a week for math and 2 times a week for reading. And it is required that students attend those. And your student will be in the camera, your teacher, and they will be teaching you live. We ask that students keep their cameras on. I think for elementary, this works pretty well. At the middle school level, we struggle sometimes with kids not wanting to be on camera. But what we're learning is the importance of students having their cameras on, because it's similar to when teachers are teaching in the classroom. They need to be able to check students' faces for understanding. They need to see if students are raising their hands. They need to figure out thumbs up, thumbs down, who's understanding the content. And so it's really important that students' faces are visual. If you really do not want your child to be on camera, we ask that you as the parent email your child's teacher to let them know. So essentially we're asking for parent permission. Otherwise, we are highly encouraging the camera to be on. All right. Family needs. So we know this is going to be a difficult transition. It was a really difficult decision to make the pivot. Our concern is that so many staff or students are either becoming exposed to COVID or they have it. And what's happening is we have to have people out for 14 days. And so we are having staff out, and we have so many students out as they heal at home. And that is becoming really, really difficult to run this hybrid model. And we want to keep everybody safe. So we had to make the tough decision to pivot. And I know that's going to be really hard. We did send out a survey on Tuesday of this week for me, but for you, that will be Tuesday of last week, where you can fill in your needs if you have any technology needs, if you have any needs in the area of lunch. Yeah, there were other areas in there for you to complete. And then we're going to see, we're going to go through that list and see what you need. And then we will make sure to send those items home with your students this week for you. So right now it's Tuesday where you're watching this video. On Wednesday and Thursday, we will send those materials or technology needs home with your child. We're not going to do a separate distance learning pickup for this. We're going to send everything home with those hybrid kids. But if you are currently a distance learning family, we will work out a time for you to pick it up on campus. All right, let me see. We have some notes here. All right, paper packets. So now that we're pivoting into distance learning, we really are expecting everybody to use the Google Classroom. But we also know that some families may want to see the work in paper form, so in paper packet form. And so if your family would like your child to work on paper packets, so to have the work that's presented in the videos, to have it in text on paper, you can request that through that parent survey that came out. We will prepare time for you. We're thinking on Fridays for you to pick up paper packets. More information will be coming out if you chose the paper packet, but we're really encouraging everything to go through the Google Classroom, or even if you're picking up packets, we're encouraging that the assignments be submitted through the Google Classroom still. We believe with the amount of technology we can offer to families and resources that we think most, if not all, students can participate successfully in that Google Classroom. But if you want a paper packet, we are more than happy to make that for your child. All right, let me see. So we do ask in that Google Classroom if your teachers have created a video that your child watches all of the video, and then there'll be some comprehension questions for them after that. Students are expected to follow our technology acceptable use policy. We have consulted, and Google Classroom is very safe to have students in there, but we do want students to be safe with one another and safe with their language. We did have a couple issues this year with students abusing the chat function, right? And we really want to make sure teachers log off after a live session so that students are not still in the classroom talking unsupervised. We ask that students do that on their own time. maybe using a separate platform such as Zoom or FaceTime with their phones or iPads. We really don't want to use the Google Classroom for students to hang out, only if we're using it for instructional purposes. Students can continue to earn Eagle Bucks for demonstrating their cares during this time. We're also considering issuing checks and color changes, how we do in the classroom, but I'm gonna be honest, we're not sure what that looks like yet. But I do know we have been successful in issuing Eagle Bucks in the virtual classrooms through our distance learning model right now. And then I'll continue to host monthly VIP ceremonies so that we're making sure we're celebrating those kids that are going above and beyond. Please know that we will continue to have literacy math specialists working with your child. Their schedule is going to be a little bit different than what it is right now, but they will be reaching out to you to let you know when your child will be receiving those extra services. Special education will also be providing services at this time, as they always do. And so those special education teachers will be reaching out to families to let them know if your child receives special services, what that schedule may entail. So typically all students will follow a similar schedule per grade level, but if you receive extra services, you just need to know those additional times that your child needs to be ready to go with that special ed or intervention teacher. And we will have English language services. Ms. Abernathy, our EL teacher, is on a leave. She will be out for a few months. So Mr. Pierce, who is our building substitute and who is equally fabulous, he is going to be helping us with subbing for Ms. Abernathy. So I apologize as our EL services have been a little bit disrupted here, but we are going to get back on that full time in time for this pivot on November 30th. If you have questions, please reach out to your child's teacher. You can email me at any time at cfarrell@shpamn.org. We wish you, the best success with this pivot. We want to be available, and we will be available. I'm going to be on campus most days along with our administration. We are going to be working virtually some of the time, but we are available, and we want to make sure we get the resources to you and your family. All right, thank you, everyone. I hope you found this helpful. Take care.